at our trusty City Hall. It's been quite the few weeks. Lots has happened and more to come. I know that some of our protests may have left us feeling defeated. I sure felt that way this past week, to the point that I was afraid to even come to this rally today. What example would I be making if I didn't show up? All that would do is make the Mike Toomeys of the world happy. This is not going to happen. We must continue to fight for what is right and for our freedoms. We cannot survive the future without our freedoms intact. Before we begin, let us sing our national anthem together. Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriots love in all our sons command. With glory hearts we see thee rise, our true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God
Keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Woo-ah! That was awesome. There's more flyers over there. Inexhaustible. Amen. Just a reminder, we are selling 50-50 tickets, $1 each. Prize half the pot, and second prize a Nova Scotia Pass t-shirt. Money's raised will go towards James Top's arrival, and I'll speak more about that later. So many of you know about our protest at the drag story time. It was certainly controversial. However, we were peaceful, quiet for the most part, and we made our point no matter how it was taken. I'll leave it at that. It must be stated, though, that we were never against any community, and to say any different is misled. Our focus was on one main theme: the adult entertainment arena entering the child's domain, libraries and schools. These are stepping stones to drag kids, which is already happening. It's child exploitation, whether it can be seen or not. Go and watch a couple episodes of RuPaul's Drag Race, and you will see that it's R-rated adult entertainment, not suitable for children. Also, go and watch Generation Drag and tell me that those kids aren't being groomed and used and exploited. 2 to 3-year-olds watching this drag R-rated TV show, and after 7 or 8 seasons, no wonder these little kids want to be drag queens. It's all they've ever learned. Anyways, everyone has rights, yes, and the freedom to choose and live however they like. But when children are involved, it has nothing to do with freedoms and rights. Calling drag for kids an art form is indoctrination and grooming, which is child exploitation, simply put. Sadly, there is too much political involvement and wokeism that interferes to confuse everyone, including children, who are the most vulnerable. Know this: children are a blessing from God. Protect them with your life. That said, sometimes we need a refresher on the freedoms we are fighting for. Freedom for Nova Scotia motto is we stand for freedoms in all forms.
Yes, that's right.
Which are speech, assembly, movement, health, conscience. We should have all the freedoms to be equal before the law, to be able to make our own medical choices, to work without mandated medical procedures, to speak, to not have censorship, to have peaceful protests, to movement, expression, to political communication, to worship, and to travel. We don't need a government or public health agency making medical decisions for us. by overruling our freedom of choice. We don't need school boards teaching children disturbing gender theory and charging parents if they want their child to be the gender they were born with. Parents have no rights on how to raise their own children. Our government is mandating everything that goes against freedoms. They don't want us to have a constitution, a Bill of Rights, a Charter of Rights and Freedoms. They don't want us to be a democracy, which follows the rule of law. They want the first post-nation state in the world. They hate patriotism, and they want Canada to become a third world country. Does anybody know about the Canadian government's funding a booklet called Confronting and Preventing Hate in Canadian Schools? The booklet was approved by the Cabinet on July 30th. This booklet would spearhead a campaign to educate children and fight and win against hate. It's designed to help parents, educators, and community identify and intervene when a young person is being groomed and recruited by white supremacist movement before it's too late. This booklet also asks kids to be wary of classmates who use the freedom of speech argument as it was among the common defenses of hate propaganda. This new resource will be delivered through workshops in schools across the country, and it will help raise awareness with students and help teach core values to our kids. Can you imagine? In other words, a government-sponsored booklet that teaches kids that the term free speech is used to justify hate propaganda. It's sounding more and more like 1938, the indoctrination of our children in public school system. It's sinful how hard they are trying to rid our country of freedoms altogether, as though they are meaningless or something. Our government is surely sounding more and more like the tyrannical communist dictator as each day passes. We are at war today. Unfortunately, it's against our own government. We're not fighting with bullets, we're fighting with our words. We are uniting, standing up for what we believe in, and we are no longer going to take it. We, united and in solidarity, can and will make a difference. The fight for freedom is a constant battle, and we must never let our guard down. We do this for our children, our children's children, and we must lead them in a safe and free country. If not, we have fought for nothing. That would mean that our forefathers, who fought and sacrificed their lives so that we could have the freedoms that they left for us, would have been for nothing. Today, we prepare for Canada March's James Topp and his team's arrival to our island on August 17th. I received a letter from James Topp in response to a letter I sent him letting him know that our group wanted to have a Capers welcome wagon for him. He sent me a letter. This is an excerpt from that letter. My intent with this letter is to invite you to consider joining the Canadian Citizens Coalition. We seek to establish a base of partners united under the flag of our nation. Together we will coordinate plans, cross-promote, leverage shared resources, and provide mutual support as we mobilize a nationwide effort to restore the fundamental freedoms of Canadians. Together we will put one foot in front of the other until we arrive at our destination. Working together set aside egos and rivalries and offering a shoulder in support to get the job done. If you would like to discuss moving forward with us, please send us an email so we may discuss further strategies. I sent him a reply, and this was his response. If you believe our values align and wish to pursue partnership with Canadian Citizens Coalition, please reply to this email indicating your organization's strategic vision. Respectfully, James Topp. With that said, I went to our group page, and this is what it said. We are tired of living under changing communist-style government. This is our chance to speak up and be heard. The facts are out. The fear doesn't work. Now, you have to remember that was back in late 2020. Our group, Freedom for Nova Scotia, has since grown. Therefore, it would be a good idea to update our mission statement. So therefore, before I respond to his request, we as a group together are going to create this vision and mission statement. So before everybody leaves, I wanted to go around. I started already with a couple interviews, 1 minute response of what your thoughts are on this freedom movement and what we stand for. Our current motto is we stand for freedoms in all forms. After we have enough people interviewed, then I'll be able to devise something and then we can send it off to him. And after we do the interview, before everybody leaves today, I'd like to have one group picture with our new freedom sign. And there will be a lot happening for James Topp and his team once they land in Cape Breton. Sadly, due to time constraints, he will not be able to stop and meet people upon his arrival at the ferry terminal. So we're going to go to the overpass in North Sydney to wave our flags and hoot and holler as they get off the ferry and welcome him and his team the Caper Way on August 17th, and we meet at 645 Pleasant Street Overpass. I have posted it as an event. It's on my timeline and on our group. So hopefully we'll have a good turnout. The only thing that has been conveyed to me is there is going to be a meet and greet on the 18th. However, there's no real confirmation on the time or place, although we have suggested Pastor Lake's church. So hopefully it'll be there. We still have no information on his departure to start his march. So now you all know what I know. That is why we're having the welcome wagon at the overpass. And that's pretty much the only real confirmation that we have. They want to complete their Cape Breton itinerary before they give out any more information for me to post. I know it's hard to answer any questions because they keep changing things. So once I know and get the okay, then I'll be able to post it and all the questions will be answered. Until then, let us continue the battle for freedom in all forms. If we stand strong, hold the line, we stay united, we will persevere. Hoo-ah, fellow freedom fighters! Hoo-ah! Thank you.